Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, a historic deal has been reached to finally re-establish direct flights to New Zealand. The Tasmanian government says an airline is on board to start services as early as Anzac Day, but one big hurdle still stands in the way.
At last, the plan has wings.
We're excited today to welcome the news that Air New Zealand is going to start flights between Auckland and Hobart.
Upgrades at Hobart Airport are nearly complete as Tasmania prepares to roll out the welcome mat for our Kiwi cousins.
I'm so very pleased that Air New Zealand have entered into an arrangement with us, and I see this initial arrangement will be over a 2-year period.
Bookings are expected to open within days. Flights will be twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays, and if demand is strong enough, services will be added.
Tourism Tasmania has already been in market in New Zealand, promoting Tasmania as a destination.
The bid has been plagued with doubts and delays, and while New Zealanders can travel here, Australians still need to quarantine once they cross the Tasman.
Now, I am quietly confident that we will see a travel bubble established prior to those flights starting.
It's still a dream come true for tourism.
We open up a new market. New Zealand, 5 million people who now have unprecedented direct access into our state.
It will be the first time in nearly 20 years Hobart has had a flight from across the ditch. $20 million has been spent extending the terminal, adding new features such as baggage carousels and beefed up border screening. Meanwhile, Tasmania's vaccination program is powering forward. State-run clinics will open next week.
Now, the first clinic at Kingston will have its first session on Monday, the 22nd of March.
Others will follow at Mowbray, New Norfolk and Brighton. 16,000 Tasmanians will be vaccinated in coming weeks under Phase 1B.
These are elderly people aged 70 and over. Remaining healthcare workers not vaccinated in Phase 1A.
Extra GPs are also expected to join the vaccine effort soon. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A man has died at Cradle Mountain Lake St Clair National Park after falling while climbing. Our reporter Josh Duggan joins us for more. Good evening, Josh. Now, police say the man was part of a group when he fell.
Good evening, Kim. That's right. A party of 4 people were climbing Mount Gerrian this morning when the incident occurred. One member fell from what police are describing as a significant height, well in excess of 50 metres. The task to reach him was made more difficult by the terrain, with a specialist team flown in by the Westpac rescue helicopter.
Unfortunately, the person was confirmed to be deceased at the scene, and it appears that that was as a result of the significant fall.
Police are yet to release details about the man, yet they say he was an experienced climber. The other 3 members of the group were uninjured, though it's a tragic day for them too, Kim.
Oh, it certainly is just horrible. Thanks very much, Josh Duggan there. Well, a 28-year-old Cambridge man remains in a serious condition following a collision with a ute on the Tasman highway last night. Police say the driver was speeding while trying to switch lanes during peak hour traffic.
This car left in pieces, crumpled and smashed here on the Tasman highway. Debris scattered across the road as emergency crews investigate a serious crash yesterday evening.
There were 2 vehicles involved. There was a Nissan Coupe that was identified as travelling at very excessive speed, attempted an overtake manoeuvre, and when it went to go back into the left-hand lane it lost control.
Police say the 28-year-old driver of the Nissan Coupe then collided with the ute at Tunnel Hill just before 6 o'clock. He was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries.
He was trapped within the vehicle for a period of time and had to be extricated before going to hospital.
The 60-year-old driver of the ute from Dodgers Ferry luckily walked away uninjured. Authorities closed the road for 4 hours, causing peak hour traffic to back up along the highway. Police now reminding motorists of the dangers of speeding.
Speed being the principal cause of this crash, and an incapacity to actually maintain proper control of the vehicle because of the speed. It's very lucky that the person hasn't been involved in a fatal crash.
Investigations into the incident are ongoing. Anyone who saw either vehicle prior to the crash is urged to contact Belrive Police. Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
A judge has labelled the actions of Mowbray man as stupid after he sold a teenager a shotgun which was used in a 2019 murder. Christopher Lee Brown faced the Supreme Court arguing he didn't know the teen would commit murder. Brown has pleaded guilty to being an accessory to the murder, as well as drug and firearms charges. Elizabeth O'Neill reports.
Christopher Lee Brown supplied the gun used in the brutal 2019 murder of Billy Ray Waters, selling it to William Adair Rothwell for $500. Billy Ray Waters was taken to bushland in Mayfield on August 4, where he was bashed, stabbed 18 times and shot by William Adair Rothwell and Jacob Michael Brennan. His body wasn't discovered for almost 2 weeks. In sentencing submissions today, the defence argued Brown had no idea the Harrington and Richardson Shornoff shotgun would be used for the murder. He thought it would be used for an aggravated burglary in Bridport involving Billy Ray Waters. The prosecution saying Brown knew the firearm would be used by a young drug user and the transaction was highly reckless. Justice Michael Brett even labelling his decision as stupid. The Crown argued Rothwell had been thinking about hurting Mr Waters over a small drug debt. In the days after the murder, Rothwell told Brown he had taken care of Billy Ray Waters and gave him the shotgun, the deceased's house key and ring. Brown then gave another man, Craig Smart, the gun to hide or destroy. Actions the prosecution says helped him, as well as Rothwell and Brennan, escape charges. At the time of the murder, Brown was the primary carer for his young son. This left him unable to work and on a carer's pension. The defence says he began to deal cannabis to supplement his income. Brown's lawyers say he's remorseful for his actions and he will find out his sentence at the end of this month.
The Bob Brown Foundation is urging Upper House MPs not to back proposed anti-protest laws put forward by the government. The veteran environmentalist says protesters could spend years in jail under the proposed legislation.
4 years in jail. But under current legislation, a 1-year jail sentence if you go into a neighbour's house with a shotgun and terrorise that family.
The Bob Brown Foundation is singularly determined to shut down businesses in Tasmania, and we will introduce our workplace protest laws next week to attempt to put a stop to that.
Labor says it won't be backing the bill. Construction works are well underway at a controversial public and private housing development on donated land at Blackmans Bay. But as the government wait list for homes continues to skyrocket, Labor says the addition will be a mere drop in the ocean.
Along the coastal suburb of Blackmans Bay, this construction site set to become a new community, a blend of public and private dwellings to be built here, part of the Maryknoll development.
So we're progressing very well with the civil works on site. So we commenced just before December last year and looking for completion around May this year.
The subdivision, approved in 2019, opposed by many community members, expressing concerns over traffic and noise, plus the scale of the site.
The development original intent was potentially up to 70 dwellings on site. We're now putting an application forward for 54 dwellings, so slightly less dense approach. But we've also had a great deal of support from the community, understanding now what the outcome is we're looking to achieve on the site.
The block, donated by the Presentation Sisters, a group of Catholic nuns who has used the land for decades, now wanting to make a change to Tasmania's critical home shortage.
The housing crisis, which I read about nearly every day. The other thing is we have this resource here. How can we best set it in place for the future? And it was a no-brainer.
The state government investing $3.5 million into the project. But as the housing wait list grows to around 3,600, Labor says the 30 public dwellings planned for the area is nowhere near enough.
Just 30 social housing dwellings is a mere drop in the ocean compared with the massive need that exists across the community.
We have a pipeline of 1,500 homes over the next 2.5 years to be delivered, and we will keep responding to the demand expressed through the waiting list for social housing.
Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, Launceston's first Freedom of Entry ceremony in almost 20 years will be held this weekend. The military event will see cadets from the Air Force, Army and Navy march through the streets of Launceston on Sunday.
For us it's largely based around recognition for our cadets and everything that they do. The cadet force is designed largely to inspire young people.
There's many cadets have been trained over a long period of time, and they continue to add to our community, so it's really great that people can come out and support them.
After a ceremony at Princes Square, the cadets will march through the city before being greeted by police and the Mayor. While the location may have moved from the Gorge, the organisers of the BASIN-ISH concert are promising their festival will still be one to remember for music lovers. The extra space at Invermay Park will mean the capacity has risen, while dancing is now allowed, with organisers saying the general public has been supportive of the decision.
We're really thankful of the community, like everyone stuck with us. It's a tough time for live music in general, and with the updated restrictions and the BASIN concert, you know, it's not going to be the same, but it's still going to be an amazing event. We've got the same lineup and we're super excited.
Organisers are asking attendees to find their flares at the back of the cupboard as they're holding a 70s themed dress competition, adding to the nostalgia of BASIN concerts past. The Easter Bunny is preparing to make a special stop at Hobart's Botanical Gardens. The annual Easter egg hunt and family picnic is back again for another year, raising much needed funds for the Royal Hobart Hospital's Research Foundation. The physical event took a break last year due to COVID. Now it's back again on Good Friday, but with a twist.
We've got age-grouped hunts in a very different way. They'll still be hunting down their eggs. When they get to the end, they'll get one of those egg packs, but they have to solve the clues in order to be able to get there too.
Tickets go on sale today, and for those who can't make it, Hunt from Home packs are available. In developing news, one of football's most influential administrators will review Tasmania's bid for a 19th licence in the AFL. The league announced late this afternoon Colin Carter has been appointed to the role. He served for more than a decade on the AFL Commission and was president of Geelong from 2011 until last year. To cricket, Tasmania has gone down in its WNCL clash against South Australia. Bowling first, the Tigers struggled to contain the Redbacks. They allowed a score of 266 from 50 overs, with Josie Dooley scoring 116 runs. In reply, the Tigers couldn't muster much of a challenge, bowled out for 205. Emily Smith top scored with 41. The Tasmania Jack Jumpers have signed another major sponsor, with Willie Smith's Apple Cider named a foundation partner. But speculation continues over which players the team are eyeing off, hinting more announcements are on the way.
A new sponsor for a new Tasmanian team. Willie Smith's logo proudly printed on the back of the Tasmania Jack Jumpers jersey.
We're really excited about partnering with this Jack Jumpers basketball team and making a name for ourselves on a national stage.
NBL boss Larry Kesselman in town for the occasion, providing an update on the renovations currently underway at the Derwent Entertainment Centre.
It's been behind the track for the last 2 years since we started, but you asked me a different question, will we deliver it? And the answer is yes. We will absolutely play games there in October.
With the first players expected to be announced in the coming weeks.
I can't say who or when or what, but there'll certainly be some positivity in the next couple of weeks around the playing roster and also some, additions to the coaching roster.
A delay to the current NBL season due to COVID throwing a spanner in the works. Coach Scott Roth unable to secure players in the league until after it's finished.
I want to be greedy and get 4 or 5 core players that will be here for the next 5-6 years and represent the state and this team, and then have the imports start to surround them and fill out the rest of the roster. With COVID, we might have to find an import or two first.
Speculation continuing over who those players might be.
Listen, Nick Kay's a heck of a player. He's in the list of guys that we've been talking with, from the names that have been thrown out, from Deladova to Brokoff to all of them. He's in that list, and we're making headway with a lot of different guys there.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Coaches at Clarence and Olympia have admitted they're planning to use this NPL Tasmania season to rebuild. After a tumultuous 2020, Olympia is starting fresh. It's had a tough start to the season, facing the Glenorchy Knights in a repeat of last year's Lacasseljak Cup final.
We'd like to challenge for the top 4 if we can. And we finished 5th last year, so it won't be a big difference.
Meanwhile, Clarence is away to South Hobart, with its coach focusing on playing youth.
We just take one game at a time. We won't be looking the points or the ladder. We can, at the end of the year, we just say where we are.
Both the NPL and Women's Super League begin this weekend. And Paralympic champion Todd "the Hulk" Hodgetts has returned to Tasmania for a rare competitive meet. The shot putter who won gold at London and bronze at Rio will be aiming to throw a Paralympic qualifying distance at this weekend's Tasmanian State Championships event.
It'd be awesome if I do it, I do it. But here it'd be more special because it's my home state. This is where I'm born at.
Hodgetts' best throw this season has only been 20 centimetres short of the qualifying distance he needs.
Good evening. Welcome to my traditional Wear Your AFL Footy Colours to Work Day on the first Friday of the AFL football season. Great to see the AFL back, which means one thing, it's going to get cooler pretty quickly. Around the state today, Launceston had 25 degrees along with Grove, Ouse and Bushy Park. That was our warmest. Hobart 24, Devonport 23 and Burnie 21. Temperatures above average today. Friendly Beaches 23, Strawn and Flinders Island 22, King Island and Lowhead 21 and St Helens 20. A little bit of low cloud today about the northeast, the clearer skies over the southern half of Tasmania. Thick cloud sits over the New South Wales coast, bringing all that rain we saw earlier in the bulletin. Convective cloud over most of the eastern mainland. A cloud band extends from a low off the northwest of Western Australia. Tomorrow, not much change in the synoptic situation. The high remains over the Tasman Sea. A trough sits over central Australia with others to the east and west. Winds easterly through Bass Strait at 15 to 25 knots, more northeasterly over the east coast and southern waters. Variable winds over the west. Hobart, partly cloudy tomorrow, 23. Same for Maydena, 21 the top for Oatlands. Launceston, a high of 25 and partly cloudy. Devonport 21 degrees. Sunny for Lyowini, a top of 19 degrees. 21 for Burnie, bit of cloud about. Fine for Strawn, 22 the top and 21 for Marrawar. St Helens tomorrow, a light shower or two. 20 the maximum. 21 for Swansea. Partly cloudy for Orford, 21 as well. There's the UV. That's at 6 and still in the high range. On Sunday, a shower over the northeast, otherwise fine. Showers developing on Monday, but fine over the south and west. A sunny 25 in Strawn, and on Tuesday showers creeping statewide, more prevalent over the northeast and northwest. A sunny 37 in Perth, sunny as well in Adelaide and Melbourne, more rain and heavy falls over New South Wales. Sydney 22 degrees, Brisbane showers and 28. The sun is still shining, 19 in Hobart, Launceston 22 and Devonport 19 degrees. What about this footy? Collingwood Bulldogs tonight. The Swans take on Brisbane tomorrow night. Actually, Kim, someone said to me today that the Swans are there to make the top 8 possible. Now, that's just cruel.
Footy might be back, Murph, but your sense of fashion is not. That is all your news for now. Thanks for your company this week. Louise Hubar will join you over the weekend, but for now, on behalf of the entire 7Tas team, good night.